recording.
So we live. Yeah, you did it.
I believe we live right now, my brother.
Yeah.
Everything. 1 second, let me just double check. Cause it should have shot right to the Twitter. Yep, we're live right there. We're live on
Yeah.
the Twitter for sure. And
Can you see the amount of views and stuff?
not on this, but what I wanna do right now is make sure we record it. Yeah, we're live. We got one view right there. Can you see it? Can you see it at the top of your screen? I see that. We got it. We got a view in there.
Nope. I don't see it on my end, but
I don't know why you don't see it. Let's see. Make sure you can hear me good. That's all set. And I think it's automatically recording, if I'm not mistaken.
all right.
So we could go from here. We ready? You could share the link if you want. Jump. You see we're live right there on the Twitter. I'm gonna take the link and I'm gonna throw it.
So yeah, send it to me. I'll send it.
Yeah. Send it to you right here, my brother. There you go. I'm gonna bomb these group chats real quick. Get some people in there and then we'll get started. How you feeling over there? How you feeling about the show?
Dude, for like a go home Dynamite show, that was freaking awesome.
Man, I ain't gonna put too much out. We'll talk more about it, but Ricochet's killing it right now, bro.
Yeah, bro. He was hilarious at the beginning. That contract signing.
Yeah. Like
he's a little devil, bro.
Yo, the way he swerved it with the scissors though, fire.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, I thought he was gonna pull out a rock.
Yeah, I didn't
rock
know
beats
what
scissors, bro. I thought that was gonna happen. I was gonna laugh my ass off.
For real, right? There's 12 people in here right now, so we can
Sweet.
get started whenever you want. You wanna go first, and I'll follow up, or how you wanna do it?
Sure, I'll start first. So up first was the MJF promo that started us off.
Yeah.
And he's looking for Hangman Adam Page, and he's outside waiting on his ass. So that feud's, dude. I can't wait for that match at Revolution.
Man, me and you
They're gonna
both,
kill it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like we got the old MJF back now.
Oh yeah, it does feel like that now. It was missing for a little bit there, but now the feeling has been restored, bro.
I feel like we got the old Hangman back as well.
That's
the
true
feeling
too.
everybody's been asking about, right? You got them both back. Let's see what happens.
Hangman's been crazy, dog.
Yeah. Hangman's amazing.
He's my number one, I think.
I mean, I want to say he's probably got to be in the wrestling industry right now. He's got to at least be in the top 5, 10 underrated wrestlers.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not getting his just due. I mean, like, he gives you the feeling for real. Like, he makes you believe what he's saying, and he always puts on a great performance in the ring.
Him and Swerve should have won feud of the year in 2024, but I don't think they got it.
I believe so. I think one of the reasons why is the negativity that came along with the match where it's like, look it, man.
Oh, the syringe and stuff, yeah.
I had no problem personally.
No, I didn't either.
But that's probably the reason. If I had to take a guess.
Probably so. That one was for the sickos anyway.
Yeah, fair to say. If you didn't like it, that's not your style, But I'm not the type to be shunned for liking wrestling. Yeah. So I mean, I'll enjoy the wrestling. That's what I'm there for.
There you go. Yeah, me too. Wrestling is a whole bunch of different things, man, added together, and there's always something you can pick out that you like.
For sure. Like, don't get me wrong, I love that entertainment. I love everything about wrestling, but my main thing is watching a great wrestling match after a good feud. Like, I don't want like, a good 2 weeks war of words, right? For like a 5-minute bullshit match. It doesn't do it.
Those 5-minute matches are so. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, that's my problem with it. So if you're gonna have I love promos. I love the entertainment
Hell
part of
yeah.
everything, right?
Video package, give me it all, man.
It's
But
a
those
part of
matches
wrestling.
gotta be good too.
Yeah,
And
finish it off with that match that gives me the same energy. That's all
heck
I'm
yeah.
asking for.
And AEW's been white hot all 2025.
Oh, Tony been in the weeds, right?
Yeah,
Or
cause
on the
he's
weeds.
busy.
I don't know. On the weeds, in the weeds, but it's been great
He's in the weeds cause he's busy, bro.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, focus a little
Alright,
bit more on his product, he'll win. Go
alright.
ahead though.
So next up, we had the contract signing between Swerve Strickland and Ricochet. What were your thoughts about that?
I loved it. I want to say that Ricochet stepped out into an element that not many people thought he could step into. They said he
Uh,
was garbage on the microphone. They said that he couldn't,
ah,
he couldn't cut promos. He was just I want to say, well, a flipping wrestler. A guy that just does flips is what everybody assumes, right? I
nah,
want to say Ricochet nailed it when he said when he was saying promos he didn't believe in and he was cutting promos he didn't believe in, you heard he didn't believe in it, right?
bro, because
Since
they're
it seems,
garbage. Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
but now that it seems like he's kind of getting to do his own thing, right? It's
yeah, and you can tell it's a whole different Ricochet.
it's been
He's out of
amazing.
his shell more, I think.
Yeah,
Es
absolutely. It's been
especially with
amazing.
yeah, especially with that promo he cut on Swerve about, something about burning house down again. Bro, I
Yeah,
laughed my
yeah.
ass off, bro.
I want to say one thing I didn't expect. Swerve fumbled a couple of times on his promo, but I want to say that it's
He
that
picked it back
Ricochet.
up.
Yeah, I want to say that Ricochet is so unexpectedly good right now with the promos.
Yeah.
He might have caught him a little bit off guard, right? But he absolutely picked it back up. And the way they ended that promo,
Ooh.
perfection
You
going into
know
the feud.
you know what hit Ricochet probably? The way Swerve was looking at him the whole time. You see that?
Yeah, yo, the way that I feel like Ricochet is so in his zone right now. We've never seen this Ricochet. I've been a fan since Prince Puma. That's when I first seen him, right?
Yeah, Lucha Underground?
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
really cut too many promos there. In
Nah.
WWE, the superhero thing, as much as I was,
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, it's
Yeah.
like it didn't really work for him, right?
Uh-uh.
This like, this cocky hair
Arrogant. Yeah,
Ricochet.
yeah.
I don't know if it's getting no better. And then Swerve's leveled up everybody he's wrestled. So we got to make sure we add into that. Swerve's been anybody that he's got in the ring with or gotten a war of words with, he's pretty much elevated. He
Right.
sent Hangman on the tier he's on right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Um, so who do you think's gonna win the match at Revolution? Swerve or Ricochet?
I'm gonna be honest. If I had to take a guess, I think Ricochet wins.
Yeah, I was thinking that
I
too.
don't. I don't think that they're gonna give Swerve the belt back just yet. I think they're gonna
Mm,
make him. I think they're gonna make it a grind for him,
right.
right?
Um,
So
and I
I
don't think
have
Ricochet
some.
will win it as far as soon as he wins the match and he's like number one contender or whatever.
Yeah.
And whenever he does fight for it, I don't think he'll win it
No,
because
I don't
there's
think
just
he'll
so
win.
many people. Yeah,
Absolutely not. I think it's lined up for Swerve to cost him. So
yeah.
he don't get it.
Oh, true.
So whenever Swerve gets it, they'll eventually probably get back to a feud for the title, which
Yeah.
Ricochet probably still won't win. I love the
No.
guy, but
Yeah.
I
Right.
just don't think that would be the time neither. Doesn't mean he never
It's not
gets
the
it.
right time yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this is more a build up of Swerve coming back for his title than it is Ricochet. But they're also making Ricochet look amazing. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can say about that.
So,
And if Samantha pops up at Revolution,
oh boy,
Miss Massachusetts in the building. Let's go.
I think that's wish. Well, I mean, he did bring her up, so
I
let's
know.
let's
I mean,
see.
I feel like it's inevitable. You know,
Yeah, it's got to
she want,
happen
yeah,
eventually.
she wanted to do more with wrestling, right? She wants to
Right.
do, outside of commentate, well, outside of ring announcing. Excuse me. Um,
Right. Yeah,
and
she
I
wanted to
think that,
train and stuff, didn't she?
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think she wanted to maybe be a wrestler, but at least be a manager, right? I know I seen her say something about wanting to be the next Paul Heyman. You know,
Oh,
that would
yeah.
be interesting,
Those are
especially with
some
the
big
heel.
shoes to fill.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're reaching for the hey, but look, if you reach for
Yeah.
the stars, I mean, you reach for the moon, you still end up amongst the stars, right? So
That's right.
You gotta
Correct.
aim big. Ain't no problem there. But I think we will see it. If not for Revolution, definitely soon. But overall, that segment, loved it.
It's
I mean,
awesome.
awesome segment.
What'd you think about Swerve and his own pair of scissors?
Um, I mean, like you said, I would have rather like a rock, right? Rock,
Yeah,
rock, paper, scissors, or
right.
something,
We
right?
had we
But
had the paper. Ricochet had the
yeah,
gold
but
scissors. So I was like, Swerve's about to pull out a rock and hit this guy in
yeah,
the
like hit
head,
him, like because
bro.
it would have rock beat scissors, right? But
Yeah,
at the same time, though, um, it worked. The
yeah,
way
it
he
did.
did it was smooth. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? The way
joint.
he did it, yeah,
Yeah,
the way he did it was quick. You know,
heck yeah,
so I think I would say overall I like that as well. I think, like I said, The Rock might have been a little bit better, more
yeah.
funny,
It would have
anyways.
been
But
funnier. I would have died laughing, bro.
yeah, you know, yeah, you could have
But
came up with the shirt Rock beat scissors, right?
right, maybe they'll still do that. Hopefully they will.
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly.
Um.
What was your overall thought about that segment? What did you think?
Oh, that segment was great. Hands
Yeah,
down. It was funny. It
yeah,
was more serious towards the end. It really made me more eager for their match on Sunday.
for
So
sure.
I think they did a good job with that.
Which is the overall goal.
Right. Yeah, of course. That's
Ab-
the main purpose.
Absolutely.
Um, so next was the AEW and Amazon Prime collab. They did a little commercial for that,
Yeah,
and so you will now be able to watch pay-per-views on Amazon Prime Video if you have Amazon. But
for
you
sure.
should still be able to use like payperview.com and what is it? Triller TV?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly though, I know a lot of people don't look at it like it's a big deal, but I'll give you an example, right? For me, myself personally.
sure.
Um, I watch AEW on Max, right? So
Yeah, me too.
we haven't been able to buy the pay-per-views yet.
Mm-mm.
It's a pain in the butt for me to chase down those other things. I don't have them. I have Prime.
Yeah,
So for me, it's like, look at 2 clicks away now. I got the pay-per-view I need. I like it. You know,
yeah,
I'm still waiting for them to come to Max, not even for the discount, just so I can know I just go to one station, period.
right. Now
But
we have to go to. I mean, we're still pretty much doing that before anyway with the cable and
it's a
whatever we had
yeah,
to watch pay-per-view on. So I
exactly.
feel you.
So I'm trying to just get it in one. Once it's all in one, it just make
Yeah,
my life a little bit easier. I
yeah,
mean,
that'd be nice.
so,
Hopefully, I think they said halfway through the year is when they'll hit max. So
yeah.
we'll see, I guess. So yeah,
For sure. Shout
yeah,
out to the subscribers too. I see we got 50 people watching right now. Thank you
sweet.
all.
Thank
You
y'all
know,
very much.
it's gonna be content coming weekly, probably eventually daily, you
Yep.
know. But we'll be here for your AEW recaps, all types of AEW content. Um, I mean, anybody that tunes in, like I said, we appreciate you all. Blessings.
Okay.
You know,
Thank y'all very
anybody
much.
that
We
need,
appreciate
yep,
y'all.
anybody that needs their page subscribed to, put it down below. I will gladly subscribe.
Yeah.
And thank you again.
Same here. Same here.
Now,
If I'm gonna so just go ahead and drop your YouTube handle and I'll follow you too. You can
so
DM me or under one of my
DM's always
posts.
open.
So yeah, uh,
Absolutely. We're just like y'all. Our
yeah,
inbox is open. Send it.
for sure. All right. Um. So collision this Saturday. Is there gonna be a collision? I'm
I don't
guessing
know.
there will be,
I
but
wanna assume there will be. Let me check. Let
they
me
didn't
look at
really advertise much about it. So that's why I was
I
like,
noticed that.
I don't know,
I noticed that. I've seen a lot of Ring of Honor stuff this week. I haven't seen too much collision.
because we need to know if we're gonna go live on Saturday too as well.
Yeah. And then
So
I'm also down to go live during pay-per-views whenever you want to do
yeah,
watch alongs or
yeah, we could do like a
recaps after, however you feel like doing. I'm down for
do
all
like a
those things.
reaction video type or read along, yeah, something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'd be down.
Now let's see. Yeah, there's a collision this week.
Okay,
So
cool.
it says
So
they announced the TNT championship match for this week's collision. So that post is today. So I'm gonna assume, yeah, there's a
yeah,
collision.
awesome, sweet.
So
Hopefully they
against
announce the
Saturday.
matches. Yeah, hopefully they announce the matches for it soon.
Yep, they so far they basically announced Daniel Garcia is gonna put the title on the line.
against
I
Adam.
mean, I did honestly didn't even see who he was fighting because I didn't
Oh,
want to stumble onto some weird spoiler or something. But
yeah, no, for real.
I seen they just announced that Danny G is gonna be fighting for the title.
Okay, sweet. Heck yeah. All right, let's go back to Dynamite. Next up was the eight-man tag team match. You had Will Ospreay, Powerhouse Hobbs, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, versus Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Mark Davis, and Brian Keith. So that
I
was
have a
a.
lot. I have a lot to say about this, so I want to hear what
Yeah.
you got to say first.
It was just off the wall crazy the whole time, like really fast paced in a good way. Like
Yeah,
they're just boom, 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 and you saw all these crazy moves and iterations of different move sets happen like one after another. It was just a crazy spot, really.
yeah. Those matches are they're always insane. I
Yep.
actually put down a couple of things I want to make sure I say about this match. First
Okay.
of all, one thing I want to say, right? Typically, I want to say I'm not the biggest fan
Of multi-man
of,
matches.
of not even multi-man, just 8 man or just 10 man or I mean, sometimes
That's
don't
yeah.
get me wrong, the action is amazing, but sometimes it's a little bit too much.
I think it was overdone back in like the Vince McMahon
That's
era of
there you go.
WWE. So
Yeah, there you go. I
it
think
did get tiring for a
yeah, and
while,
even
but
he realized it to the point he didn't want to do it no more because
mm,
it was like got to a point where it got a little ridiculous. And I'm a little bit older.
repetitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's first thing. With that being said, I want to say that the 8 man matches they usually pull off at AEW are
They're
usually
good. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty amazing.
Hell
But
yeah.
with that being said, there's the main things I want to get off, right? I really appreciate the fact that Tony's using Archer and Cage.
Yes, a
Like
lot more.
weekly,
Yeah.
weekly. I don't care that, maybe they should be singles wrestlers and have belts. Just give me them weekly. I love what they're doing with the Don Callis family. That's
Yeah.
one main thing I want to let out there. Big fan of both of them, man. And I
Me
feel like
too.
Archer for a while was kind of stuck in like
Yeah.
like something weird, like he'd beat Jobbers, but never was in nothing
He would
else.
always get beat. Like,
Yeah, and
yeah,
then
he
like whenever he got like a decent match, it was to lose. And it
yeah.
kind of really was getting same kind of similar with Cage, right?
Yep.
Since you got them together, it's fine that they lose matches here and there, but push them guys,
Yeah.
right?
Tag
Do
team
keep
gold,
them on
baby.
TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep them on TV. That's one main thing that I wanted to get off, right?
Alright, what you
Another
got now?
thing that another thing that I want to get off. Continue to push Hobbs,
Heck yeah, of
right?
course.
Don't
Absolutely.
don't like don't slow that down, right?
No.
So those are two like
Take
everything else that they got going in that match. Like, look at I love Briscoe. I love everybody in that match. But my
yeah.
biggest points in that match that I want to see is them three guys continue to be on TV. A
Yep.
lot of the other guys, kind of have their spots.
Right. They're
You
usually
know,
on weekly anyway, but
there
right,
you
but
go.
I agree with what you're saying.
Those guys.
There was a spot in that match where, Powerhouse Hobbs kept yelling "meat," and
Yeah,
he was, like, Irish whipping his teammates into Mark Davis.
yeah,
Man,
yep.
that was
I
awesome.
like Mark Davis too, man. Mark Davis,
Yeah.
how long you think he's gonna last in that group?
Oh, they just kinda pointed towards a face turn, so
I think
at
so.
towards the end,
I think
so
that it showed you he instantly regretted,
yeah.
swinging that chair, right?
So, I think it's gonna be pretty soon. Maybe they'll drag it out a little bit, let it grow, but yeah, it's coming,
Yeah.
no
I
doubt.
mean, you honestly can't knock them. There's no way to put that tag team back together.
United Empire, you
Kyle
have to.
Fletcher is a
Yeah,
bona fide superstar. You
yeah,
cannot put him back in the tag team.
and
Like
hopefully Jeff Cobb makes his way over. Bro, I'm still waiting on that one.
ooh, listen, the Monster Montanza.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that too. I've been waiting for I mean, him versus Samoa Joe, I feel like at this point is
Hey,
like
that's a
so
match.
overdue. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
overdue. Like give it to us. You
Shoot,
know what
they
I'm
can even
saying?
do that at Forbidden Door, man.
Yo,
Like,
listen,
yeah.
I would like to see them fight for a title, like a feud, like a 3-match feud between them. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
that'd be sick.
Maybe one being a stipulation match, maybe over like whether it be, the international title or
Mm,
I mean even one of the New Japan titles, which would be fine. But give them
right.
like a
Giving them a
feud.
series,
I
yeah,
don't want one match. I need a
right.
feud between them
At least 3.
at
Yeah.
least. And I wouldn't mind more. I would not
Mm,
mind more, but
heck
at
no.
least 3.
Yeah,
But
that's what I
that
like.
8 that
That
8
right
man
there, yeah,
the 8 man on
it was solid.
solid match.
So going back to that, Cobb and Samoa Joe, that's the reason why I like this Osprey and Kyle Fletcher. That same
Listen.
thing. They keep going back at it.
Now
Um, it reminds me of Cena and Orton back in the day, kind of.
it does. I
Yeah.
wanna I wanna say because they're both young and up and coming where they have that potential.
Yep.
Doesn't mean they'll ever look. Don't
Yeah.
nobody shoot me. I'm not saying that they're gonna get to Randy Orton's level. They just got
Right.
they got the potential to
They
get
just got
there.
right, and they got the vibes, but
Of course, they
yeah,
got the vibes. They
yeah,
got I mean, they got everything going to get there. Only thing that could stop them is really themselves or bad booking.
correct for
So
sure.
yeah.
Bad booking, yeah.
One
But
thing I want to ask though,
what's up?
if Jeff Cobb shows up, does he side with Fletcher or Osprey?
Have them join the Don Callis family right away.
Have him join it. So
Yeah,
you want him to show up and squash Will?
yeah. Just like
Uh,
brutalize them. That
Easy way
way,
to
that way
easy
you
way to
build up
make
a
him
good
a
match
powerhouse.
right there. You know?
Easy way to make him a powerhouse, right?
Oh yeah, for
Maybe we
sure.
stick Samoa Joe in somehow to help Will Osprey, and then
Yeah.
we somehow get to that match.
Shoot, Powerhouse Hobbs and Jeff Cobb. I think we've seen that before, but
I
uh,
I wouldn't mind it again if we seen
yeah.
it. It was when Hobbs, way before Hobbs was at this level. Like
Right,
Hobbs is on a
correct,
whole nother level right now.
correct. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
just I'm not too positive where it was a early days of AEW or was it New Japan or something like that. I'm
I
pretty
wanna
almost certain that
say
they've
it
had a
could have
match.
been when, remember, I think I'm digging deep in my mind, but I
Yeah.
remember there was a time when Cobb came and, was like Jericho's henchman for like a match or 2,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Something like
So
that.
it might have been then,
Right.
but I'm not 1,000% sure.
Yeah, me neither. I would have to
I'd
research
have to
that.
pull
Look,
that up
it's
before
been a
I
minute.
spread we don't
Yeah.
wanna spread false information, you know?
No, not at all. All
For
right.
sure.
Let's see here. Kenny Omega versus Takeshita video package. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything about that people can't already say. It's the Alpha
Yeah.
and the Omega. This
Yeah,
is
the Alpha and the
two of the
Omega.
absolute best wrestlers in the world.
Yep.
I mean,
That match is gonna be insane on Sunday. You can already
what is
tell. It's
what
instant
is
5-star, bro.
yeah, what did Jay used to say? It's gonna be a slobber knocker.
Slobber
Right?
knocker, yeah. JR? Yeah.
Yeah, so that right there is gonna be it's gonna be a 5-star match, which obviously one of the things that really bothers me is when people say, "Oh, you just care about 5-star matches as a wrestling fan." Listen, right?
No.
it, it's not just about the 5-star match, but what it
Mm-mm.
comes down to, it's wrestling. So the wrestling is a big part of it. Of course, I
Wrestling
want to
is a
see
big
the
part of
5-star match.
wrestling, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, me too,
Don't
bro.
mean I don't want to see the rest of it, but I want to see the 5-star match too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
there's a reason they're 5 stars. Come on now.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean, some people have got robbed over the years, but I'll leave that for a completely different podcast. But a lot of the 5-star matches that we've seen, like from I just say from Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega specifically, well
yeah,
deserved. Well
yeah,
deserved. No
yeah. Will
complaints.
Will Ospreay has like, was it over 50 5-star matches or something like
I
that?
mean, it gets to the point
It's
where
up
he's
there.
so good and people just don't understand. It's like, what do you give him a 3-star match? How?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's
It's
gonna be hard to have a 3-star match with Will Ospreay if you're
yeah,
good.
yeah. It would have to be like bad or like Will Ospreay's injured during the match or something like
They
that.
just yeah, he might
Yeah,
even injured, might pull off a 5-star match. So I'm not
yeah. True,
I'm not gonna put that against them.
true.
But
Um,
they built it up good.
yeah.
There's not much I could say that they could have did better about that package.
So I'm thinking Takeshita wins on Sunday. I know the popular thing that most people are saying Omega, but I don't know. For some
I
reason, I'm just
I
thinking
think
that Takeshita will win it.
I don't know. Take this with a grain of salt, because remember, not everything we see on Twitter or even reports from official people that you hear is actually accurate when it
No,
comes down to it.
it's all fantasy
But
booking.
yeah, but supposedly what I was seeing is they might be trying to take two of those belts, maybe the belt Okada got and the belt that Takeshita got, and
Oh,
unify
okay.
them, right?
Yeah, that's
If that is the goal, if it is, I could see it going either way. It would make sense for Kenny to win, take the belt, and him and Okada face each other. You know that gotta happen to unify the titles. It's Kenny and Okada. I mean, you kind of can't go wrong there, right? But
right.
I also, right, would never underestimate Takeshita winning and going
Yeah,
to that match to unify the titles, and
right.
maybe even coming out on top of Okada and being the next big thing.
Because
So
I was thinking
yeah,
Kenny was gonna put him over.
that's
Um,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. I wouldn't second guess either, because Kenny could put Takeshita over on this and have him unify those titles and actually just go fight for the AEW title, which everybody wants.
yeah.
He doesn't lose anything putting
No,
Takeshita over.
Kenny loses no value if he loses this match at all.
Man, that's the god of professional wrestling.
Heck
He's
yeah,
nothing he's gonna
true
lose
that.
as long as he can wrestle.
Yeah,
I mean,
true that.
yeah. So that's
Uh,
Kenny. I ain't
yeah,
second guessing him. And if he makes a decision to put Takeshita over, if that's what happens, good for him. Takeshita earned it.
right. Oh, he definitely earned it, bro.
Absolutely.
He's been becoming one of my favorite heels of recent, man. I He's killing
Man,
it.
he's I think he's one of the he got that aura with him. Like you know what? You know what the aura he reminds me of? Like one of those
Yeah.
old school Van Damme movies. He's the bad guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's Takeshita. Like
I
he got
mean, yeah,
that
that
aura
makes
to him.
sense.
He
Oh
got that
yeah,
aura to him. I mean,
definitely.
mhm.
Um, all right, so the next was Willer Yuta versus Cope.
I think it
Oof,
went too long,
maybe a little bit.
a little bit, right?
It
I
was
think
kind of slower paced. Like,
I
didn't
get it,
yeah,
but um, I'll give you a quick opinion, then we'll go to yours, right?
sure.
So I just say I think it went a little too long. Dope match. They're both good wrestlers. No complaints there. I just think with the angle, with him saying, he's gonna take out the Death Riders,
Yeah, he
it
didn't
might have
take out.
been
Yeah,
it, it might have been more official for him to just squash him. Like this is Cope going into a heavyweight title shot. This is Willie Yuta. It's not really gonna affect him. That's Adam Copeland. Squash him, right? But
yeah,
one thing I will say is before you go is the fact that I had him shake his hand and stuff, and then they're probably pushing towards a Willie Yuta like face turn. Maybe Danielson pops
oh
back
for
back
sure.
up at some point.
Oh
But
yeah,
I would have
sick.
rather seen him get squashed and give Cope all the momentum going against Moxley and maybe concerto him at the end. So it's like you really by yourself now. I just ran through you, then I'll see you at the pay per view. You know,
Mm, okay. So I felt like Adam Copeland was like tired during that match, man.
you seen it, right?
Yeah, I seen it. Like he's moving a little bit slower. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to kill time or something. I don't know. But
Yeah,
this whole show was stacked, so they
yeah.
could have
I
fleshed out
noticed that
somewhere
he looked
else.
a little winded at a point
Yeah,
too, but since he came back, what has been the longest match that he's done?
probably that one since he's been
Probably,
back.
probably, right?
Maybe. Yeah,
It
or
probably
the
just
tag team match that he had.
yeah, but the tag team, you get your chance to kind of,
Yeah, take a
so
break.
maybe it could have just been first lengthy match back. No,
So
I don't think he looked bad, but
so
I did notice that he got a little tired
it's
at
probably a
points in
good
time.
thing that they made this match a little bit longer than to get him prepped for the Sunday.
That
Maybe
could have
that's why.
been
Yeah,
honestly, you could have nailed that. It could be
yeah,
he could be going into a longer match, and they had to make sure his wind is good. Um,
yeah.
because that's
That's
probably the only realistic reason to have that match go that long.
right.
I mean,
So, is Christian cashing in or no?
I listen. Right now there's one wrestler at AEW. I don't know what he's doing. It's him. Like you got. I don't know how long he's had that, right? He's had it for a long time now, right?
It's gonna be coming
Um,
on a year, man, pretty
I
soon.
wanna say that common sense gotta say that he's gotta cash it in, or there's gotta be something going on with Cope with him, right? For this to maybe be worth the wait, right?
Um, I was thinking Cope versus, Christian at All In is the main event.
Like, so thinking there's a title on the line there.
Mhm. I
So,
think Christian cashes in the Sunday after Cope wins it,
and he takes it.
then he takes it, and that sets up for probably their rematch. This will be their 3rd match, right? 3rd no, they've had a couple. So,
I don't know. Who knows?
um, but no, I think it leads up to All In, Cope versus, Christian, and then
That
after that, give it a little bit of time, and they reform the tag team, and they go from there.
I
Uh,
there's I honestly that's my first thought.
mhm.
Genuinely, that I almost said Edge. Adam
Yeah, it's
Copeland,
hard not to, bro.
yeah, takes the belt, and I'm big fan of when they was a trio, but we'll leave that for another day, right?
You're right.
Um, eh, basically, I would say it would that's my first thought. He takes the belt, um, and either way, no matter how they do it, whether Christian cashes in, whether he fails, whether he takes it, it just leads up to that, right?
Right.
There's only one problem I have in this outcome, and I don't have a problem with when a company admits defeat in a story. And I'm not saying that this is happening, right?
No. Yeah.
But I don't have a problem. Sometimes it's like, you think you could, maneuver something. It don't work the way you think. Not everything works out perfect. It's like a football game. You
Yeah.
came in with a game plan, now you're down 21 nothing, right? Not everything you write down works, right? So the problem I have with it is personally, I think the Death Riders storyline is gonna get ended, right?
Yeah. Pretty soon.
Like a
Yeah.
ending, right?
Yeah.
Something that at least whether you like it or not, right? Whatever that ending is, it gotta end with something,
Yep.
right?
And
Meaning, I don't
this
know if
is
you're
it,
a
probably.
surprised person, like Tony Khan turns heel and he's working with Moxley, like, but
Oh.
something, right?
Oh
Like
my gosh.
something.
That'd be like a Vince McMahon moment.
But you see what I'm saying? Like
I see what
something,
you're
I
saying.
feel like
Yeah.
there's gotta be something, right?
Right.
And I think that, and I don't think that Cope don't win the belt and he don't feud with Christian. I think that still may happen, right?
Right.
But what I'm leaning towards right now is all the Death Riders are gone. And
Yep.
please don't be a Willa Yuta interference because
No,
that would make situations worse, right?
it would. Yeah.
Right?
Because 'Cause they've already done that
Yeah. But
multiple
what I'm
times.
saying is when you have most of them out, Willa Yuta walked away from you.
Yep.
Your surprise has to come at Revolution. Who do you
Oh,
have, Moxley? I don't believe it's Shane McMahon like everybody else, right?
nah.
Um, but it has to be somebody, right?
Yeah.
You have to have somebody, right? So with everybody gone, with Moxley's promo tonight, and you thinking he's by himself, it has to come now.
So you think there's still somebody pulling the
This
strings,
I
right?
think I
Yeah.
think there's something coming,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it could, save that storyline, right? It could
Right.
make it worse. I'm
It
not
will.
gonna make that decision, but all I say is I think this week at Revolution, if Cope takes that title from Moxley, it leaves that storyline like abysmal. It
Right.
did nothing.
But
It didn't have no surprises. It just was kind of like,
and that
you
might
know,
end up happening. Um,
it could. It
yeah,
could.
because it
But
got a lot of bad backlash, which I always enjoyed it, but
I
yeah,
think it got some of the backlash was warranted, right?
a little bit.
Because when
Yeah.
you're being subtle and you're being subliminal, something's supposed to come after that, right?
Right.
So,
Something big, you know, and
and
it
that's
kinda
that's what I'm saying. Maybe they did think Shane McMahon at one point. Maybe they thought Sammy Callahan at one point because I know he
right.
has a relationship with Mox. Maybe it was a wrestler they thought was gonna get out of a contract that didn't. Who knows? but I still think that it needs closure. It needs to end
It
with some
does.
sort of substance. And if Mox just loses, right, and the belt goes off, and they go on to this Christian and
That's it.
Coke feud,
Yeah.
it you kind of like forfeited and did what everybody thought was happening. You didn't know what you was doing with the angle, and it's not going to amount to
Mhm.
anything. I have
So
too much
he
respect.
needs to finish it.
I
Yeah.
have too much respect for John Moxley to think that they let you, and I'm not saying they did, because everything you take with a grain of salt, right? But if they gave you the ability to kind of guide this storyline, I have way too much respect for Moxley to think that he did this without no end goal. You just carried the belt in a briefcase for a couple of months, and then you eventually lose it to Copeland, who goes on to feud with Christian. Then what does Mox do? Like, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
that
saying?
leaves him out of the picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
kind of
you're
puts him in
probably
a
right. Maybe
it's
Moxley does win this Sunday then.
I'm
So
thinking Moxley pulls an ace out his sleeve and wins this time. We get to see the big reveal of whatever this story is gonna come to, and then probably the next pay-per-view, Cope takes it. You know what
hey,
I'm
but guess
saying?
what?
Like,
It makes this match unpredictable as
it
hell.
does,
Like it
and I
really
love it.
does. Yeah,
I
that's
hate
what I like
predictable
about wrestling.
matches. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate predictable matches.
Yeah, me too. That's why I
Yeah,
don't really watch too much WWE at all anymore. So
yeah.
it's just
I
yeah.
wanna throw in one tidbit before you jump
What's
into
up?
the next thing, right?
Okay.
Because I came across something while we was basically setting up, and I seen that Gabe Kidd hasn't re-signed to New Japan
Oh,
since February, and he's been working AEW on a
yeah.
per appearance deal. They need to get
Oh,
that
great.
boy a contract
They definitely do.
immediately, immediately.
Oh,
Like,
can you imagine Gabe Kidd in the Death Riders, bro? That'd be something.
listen
Yeah,
what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I don't care what they do with him, right?
but they need him. Yeah,
I mean, don't have him on Collision one week, and then all of a sudden I see him on another company's TV show because you
yeah,
didn't
for
strike
real.
the deal.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
real.
that's all I'm asking. Sign
Yeah,
Gabe Kidd, Tony, ASAP.
right
Now
now.
back to
Right.
business. Back to
All right,
business.
man. All right. What was up next was that training montage video with the Outrunners,
Man,
like the Rocky style. It was goofy, but
Outrunners
it was
are
good.
amazing. Like, I can't say enough good things about them. Give them the belts.
I'll
Give
say
them
that.
the belts.
Right. Man, but for some reason I feel like they're gonna get squished by Hurt Syndicate.
It's possible,
I
but
just feel it.
but
Yeah.
I still say give them the belts.
Yeah, yeah, they're white hot, man.
Cause
Give them
this
the
listen,
belts.
ride that momentum for two reasons, right? It's not a
So
given you get hot like that more than once in wrestling. I've seen people get
mm-mm,
hot and then be cold for the rest of their career,
and
right?
right.
Second thing is Lashley and Benjamin don't need those.
They don't. They got names for themselves already.
That's what I mean. Like, end of the day, they need to figure out if they're adding to the group, if they're bringing in, say, for example, Cedric Alexander, maybe, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
maybe
he's a free agent now too, isn't he?
I don't know, he
Yeah,
has to probably wait for his
90 days
that
or something.
90-day clause, but yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah,
So, like, I think
yeah.
Shelton Benjamin's look too good to even make him a tag team wrestler. I would like to see him go out, maybe compete for like the international title or something like that. And
Singles
kind of
run. Yeah,
yeah, and push Lashley up. Lashley's a heavyweight, man. Like,
heck
you
yeah,
don't need him in the tag division. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Would you give
Bill-
the belt to, or would you get the world championship on him? Like eventually?
Before he leaves AEW, I would
Yeah, yeah. Agree.
at least once.
I want to see him have a really good run with a main title
Me too.
because he didn't. I don't think he really had a good one back in the other company. But
You know what? You know what I love to see,
you know more
honestly?
about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what I love to see. We'll probably never get this, but I would love to see it.
Mm,
I would love to see Bobby Lashley similar to Kenny with the belt collector, but just go and get the AEW and the New Japan title both at once.
Man, that'd be crazy. Yeah,
I would like to see, like, I feel like he's the guy to do it. You know what I
sure.
mean? Like, he's one of the people you could push to the mountain, and I don't care about his age. He's in better shape. You could see it than dudes 20 years younger than him. You know what I'm
No,
saying? So
but
I would like to
going
see a
back to the
couple.
Outrunners. Oh,
What'd you
I'm
say?
sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go
you off,
ahead.
bro.
Say that one more time, bro.
Hello? Oh, you froze up for a little bit. Go back to
Yeah, you did too.
the Outrunners real quick.
The Outrunners? Yeah, I heard that part.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The connection got cut, and I lost my train of thought. But
Don't worry, we on the
can you see me?
Outrunners.
Okay.
We on the Outrunners. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
They
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 definitely
really they
deserve it. I
really
mean, I met them in person at the Texas kickoff party, and they were really good dudes, man. I
fire,
fuck with them for real. Yeah,
fire. Yo,
yeah, and
they
they're
literally remind me of watching wrestling when I was a kid. That's what they remind me of.
yeah, yeah. It's got that real '80s and '90s kind of vibe to it, man. I
Yeah,
like that.
they're
Yeah.
what do you think
Um,
about that? What do you think about their entrance?
I love it. I like how they switch the filter and all that whenever they come out. So
And it looks
and
old,
I like
right?
yeah, like a VHS tape. Yeah, yeah. I like their entrance. I love
I
their
love
song
it.
too. The song get me pumped, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
All right.
one thing that I will hope about Outrunners, I hope that they're signed to a lengthy contract.
I hope so too. I mean, there
Uh,
hasn't really been much news about that either.
yeah, I know that they came in was on per appearance. I know that it said they got signed, but I haven't heard anything about length of the deal. I hope it wasn't a short term deal.
Me neither.
We having connection
I
errors right now, huh?
hope I have no idea. The But either way, they deserve those World Tag Team Championships. Either way, so
Sure.
hopefully they stay with AEW for a while though.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
will. Tony would be crazy to let them sneak out the door. Like that's all I would
heck
say.
yeah, they're like they're number one merch sellers right now. Uh, Crowd gets super loud whenever
Yeah.
they come out. So, I mean, the iron's
Bro,
hot right now.
they bring I mean energy plus some. Even
Yeah,
in little skits that the energy they're bringing right now is kind of unmatched when it comes to a lot of the other tag teams right now in AEW.
they act like that outside of the
Yeah.
ring too. Like when we had that kickoff party, man, they're like shaking their heads, like oh, and beating
You
stuff. Like
see
they're just how you see them on TV. That's them in real life as
you
well.
seen them pumping up the
They're
locker room at the football game, right?
yeah, elbow
They
drop in the
actually
trash
look
can, bro.
tiny in that video, which is hilarious.
Yeah, compared to all
Yeah,
the football
they look
players
tiny.
and the
I was
wrestlers, boy.
laughing at when he walked
Yeah,
through the door. I was like, why did they look so little?
because all the
Yeah,
football
walking by
players,
six
bro.
foot five guys will do that to
He's-
you.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
But shout out to the Outrunners, man.
Uh,
They show a lot of love
yeah,
on Twitter and X too. They share posts, they jump on your posts. Like there's some are probably um they interact probably just as much or more than any of the other wrestlers that engage on that site.
yes, they engage a lot on X,
For sure.
and that's a good thing, man. You don't really see a whole lot of that.
It's not too there's a
It,
few and then there's ones that just that
yeah,
they never say anything.
they never do anything. Yeah,
I don't blame them. They get harassed a lot, but I appreciate when they reach back out to us.
yeah, right. Yeah, makes you feel heard and
Yeah.
seen. Yeah,
Especially if
and
you took your time to say something really not you ain't just saying reckless stuff and you appreciating
right.
their craft. It's nice to see that. Yeah,
They're people
absolutely.
too. Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're people too, just
For
like
sure.
us.
For sure.
So, man, I've seen all sorts of crazy hate on
Yeah.
Twitter though. Like, I even seen somebody go at it with Dustin Rhodes
Dustin
not
been
too long
getting
ago.
you
I'm
been
like, out
getting
of
them.
all
Shout out to
people,
Dustin.
Yeah, yeah. Out of all people, you're gonna talk about Dustin and his family in a it was a very negative way. I don't
Yeah,
wanna
you ain't even
rehash it, but
gotta. I think I know that. I think I know the
yeah,
post you're talking about. It,
yeah.
it,
I'm just like, "Ew." I responded to it, and I was like,
yeah,
"Fuck
for
you."
real. It's crazy too. Like if
Yeah,
I like one thing I know we're focused on AEW here, but one thing that I'm gonna put out there is say, look
yeah,
it. Shout out to Cody, right? Like Cody
yeah,
went into this thing. He felt that was the best thing for him and his family. No, that's not a decision we should even be thinking about. It's like he made his decision. If you're a fan, you should support it, right?
mhm.
But if
Of course, yeah,
I mean, if people have a problem with a brother supporting a brother just because he is a different company, I mean, you're the
yeah.
problem. Like you're the
You're the
problem.
problem.
You know what I'm
Exactly. That's his family, bro.
saying? Like
Shit.
even if it wasn't, even
You
if it
gonna
was
stick up
just
for
his
your
friend,
family.
but that's his brother. Like it doesn't
That's his
doesn't matter
brother.
if there
Yeah,
was real beef in wrestling, right? That's his brother. If he
yeah,
wants to support him,
yeah.
if he wanted, no matter
He's gonna
what he
support him.
wanted to do, I don't understand how that's something you feel the need that you could even say anything about. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, why be negative
It's
about that?
ridiculous. Shout out to the Rose.
Alright, heck yeah. Dustin's really cool too, in person. He called me son, so I was like, yeah, I shook his hand. He's like, "What's
Yeah.
up, son?"
I did.
Like, I just and Dustin's like 6'5", fuck you saying so. I was like
Yeah.
looking up
I
at him.
mean,
I
I
was
seen
like,
that post where he
because
said he's seen chupacabras growing up in Texas. I need to have the interview about that. We might have to get him on one time.
yeah, that'd be cool to have
For
him on
sure.
here maybe
For sure.
someday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get back to the
Yep.
show. Then you have Hangman Adam Page chasing MJF. Like they cut
Oof.
back to that, and Hangman shows up in the truck with the
I,
horns
that
on.
that truck is
And
badass. I like what they're doing. I
oh
like
yeah,
what they're doing there. What did you think
yeah.
about that segment?
Instantly, so when MJF is running back through the
Yeah.
arena and Hangman catches up to him, but it's somebody else, I instantly knew just by like the build, it wasn't even
Yeah.
MJF.
I,
I was like, at first I thought it was Tony Khan, bro. It
yeah.
was like
I ain't
Slender
lying.
guy,
I
and
was
I was like,
passing
oh
between
shit,
rooms. It got me. I thought it was him.
oh man. No, man, they did the old
Yeah.
switcheroo, and MJF came from behind and I guess, like, hit him in
Yeah.
the head or something.
This.
Yeah, and, the lighter fluid and stuff, I really thought he was about to be set on
I
fire,
know
bro.
it wouldn't be the first time, right?
Hangman?
Someone got set on fire in AEW.
Yeah, true.
I loved it though. As
Jack
long as it's
Perry.
safe, I got no problem with
Shit.
it. Do what you got to do. I mean, they
Right,
do
for
it for
sure,
other
for
TV
sure.
shows. I think people fail to realize it's like, look it, whether it's a TV show or like wrestling obviously is a TV show, but it has wrestling equated. I don't have a problem when they push the boundaries because when you put on your favorite
No,
TV show, it's pushing way worse boundaries, right? So yes,
heck
like
yeah.
look it. There's things I watch in TV shows that it's like I'm completely against, but it's a TV show. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna complain. I know it's not, like
Have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
you
I
see what
mean,
I'm saying, right?
the crap
And
that they show,
so
bro.
when I watch like a wrestling show, I'm against a few things. Like if it's racist or like, belittling women or certain things, like I kind of ain't into that.
Yeah,
But when it comes to like TV show drama, you can push the boundaries. I have no problem with it.
of course
No
they can.
problem with it. You
Absolutely,
feel me?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one thing I'll say about that. But as far as that segment, what do you think about this feud so far? Not just the segment, the feud.
The
Yeah.
whole feud? It's been a long time coming, man. I was actually rewatching one of the older Dynamites. It was like episode 9 or something.
Talk. I'm just gonna get a
And
drink of water real quick. Go ahead. I
okay,
can
sure,
hear you
sure.
though.
All right. So they even teased that like 5 years ago, but they never met up like face to face, one on one
Yeah.
until now. So this feud has me hyped as well. Like I cannot wait for this
Would
match
you
on
say
Sunday.
these are two of the real four pillars in AEW? Not just joking. I hate that pillars thing. I
Course.
just wanted to get that out there. I never liked that pillars thing because it changes. It's subjective. I mean, but
Yeah. I don't know for sure it is. Then I feel like it put too much pressure on whoever was
yeah,
a
they did
pillar,
it through it because a
you know?
couple of them, I feel like it phased them out after. So when you label them as a pillar,
Yeah.
where are they? I need to see them more.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I feel like the fans
Speaking
like
of
it.
pillar, Darby Allen, man.
You scared for him climbing Mount Everest?
Yeah, kinda am. I mean, I don't wanna say anything,
I'll put
but
it like this, right?
yeah,
I have all the
yeah,
faith in the world he's gonna do it, right?
yeah.
And
There you go.
it's gonna be a sight to see for AEW flag.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be right on
That's
top. Boy.
and then he'll be back down. When he comes back
Heck yeah.
down, right? Give him that goddamn belt. That's when it's time. When
Yes,
he
man.
comes back down, give it to him.
Yeah. So, man, there's so many possibilities for the main event at All In with the World Championship, man. Because he climbs Everest in April, so whenever he gets back, that'll leave May and June for him to build up for something for
So
All In. So, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking there might be like a multi-man match for the world
there's gotta
title or
be at one
something.
point because they got too many people, I
Yeah,
think, in the title picture. Because you got
you're
obviously
right.
Mox, Cope, Christian. I want to say Jay White still kind of in. He probably
Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit
Swerve,
later. But yeah,
Ricochet,
there's a bunch. Yeah, there's a bunch
MJF,
of them. So
Hangman.
there's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they did some sort of like tournament to X people out, maybe like there's like probably there's probably like
Maybe.
10 people that at any time could be involved in that title, which is a good thing.
Right,
I
for
don't mind
sure.
it.
There's so many. That's a
I like
damn
that.
good
I
thing.
don't
Heck
want it.
yeah. Keeps it
Yeah, you know
interesting.
what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Mm-mm. All right. So, and MJF was wearing that T-shirt that said MJF did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You see
I
that?
mean, is he
Yeah.
lying?
And then
No.
no.
This time he didn't do anything wrong. So,
Oh, he's right. They're all
yeah.
hypocrites. He was trying to prove a
Well,
point, and that's what he was saying when he got carried away. Let me prove my
yeah, look
point.
it. This
So,
MJF is the guy that people was saying is arguably the best speaker or best talker in the world, right?
oh, he's the best promo
Now
right
we
now
knew I
on
mean
top.
MJF is obviously we know he's a generational talent in the ring, way ahead of his time. I mean
Absolutely.
from the first match he had, even though he lost it, his first match ever in AEW, right? You just kind of seen he kind of has it. He gets it. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hell yeah.
but this is the MJF the world needs. We don't need a happy
Yeah.
MJF. We don't need the go lucky MJF. We
That
don't
was
need that guy.
that was funny for a little bit. Right. It
It
was funny
was
for a
for a
little
little
bit,
bit.
but
But
this MJF is a lot better.
this is the MJF we need that eventually will find his way back to his triple B, right? That other
Yeah.
MJF, I feel like started like getting stuck in an area where you're wondering what they're gonna do with him. Is he going down the card? Is he stuck in the middle of the card? This MJF will
Right.
demand the belt soon, whether he means it or not.
Oh yeah. So you think he's gonna beat Hangman, or do you think Hangman's winning this first one?
I think MJF's cheating to win.
There you go. Like he
He's
usually
back.
does. Yeah. Diamond ring.
I mean, like he's back.
Yeah.
I mean, so even if you notice, he came back with the um. Remember, he was wearing like the DACA scarf. Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then if you notice, since this feud started last week, he popped back up with the throwback bird. I mean, so he's back. It's this the old MJF. This ain't
Yeah.
the updated Burberry scarf. This is the old school MJF. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna hit you
Yep.
with something, whether it's a dynamite ring, whether he got someone under the ring, whether he low blows the
Yeah.
ref. Hey, something's gonna happen. MJF for the win. That's all
Something's
I'm gonna
gonna
say.
happen. Def- It's gonna be a good
For
match for
sure.
sure, though.
Shall we say
Yeah.
5 stars, possibly?
At least
I,
4.
I would say my guess would be somewhere between 4 and 4.5.
Yeah. Not saying they
Well, for
can't get
sure they
5
can.
stars, but It's a good guess,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd say guaranteed
About
4,
what it
possible
is,
5.
yeah. Yep, there you go. Alright, and then next you had Tony Storm promotes Queen of the Ring movie,
Big for her.
which comes out this
Big
Friday.
deal.
Yeah. Camille's in it too, which hopefully we see her
I
back
think
soon.
I
So
that Camille situation is a bit confusing. So we'll do
it
literally do
is.
a whole video about Camille one
Yeah.
day because I got she's one of my favorites.
I
So I ain't gonna give her
Yeah,
5
she
seconds
was
when
one
I
of
don't
mine
know what's
too.
going on, but hopefully we see Camille back and she's in great health and good spirits, all that good stuff. But it's that's
Yeah,
big for them. Like
yeah.
AEW needs way more crossover, especially when it comes to things like that. Like,
The
yeah,
movies
MJF
and
did the
stuff.
Happy Gilmore. Outrun it.
Yeah. I can't wait till that comes
I
out.
have no idea. I gotta
Yeah.
see it when it comes out though. But shout out to MJF on that.
Yeah, me too.
Outrun is on ESPN. You know,
Yeah, that was
Tony
big.
Storm and Camille, Queen of the Ring. Like the more of that you get,
Yep.
is when you start branding yourself to go forward to actually build in the future.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize like some of these companies had so long of a head start. It's
Yeah,
generational fans, right? It's like
correct. Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys, right? And this ain't a knock on no other
Yeah.
company because remember, I'm I have love for all companies. I'm not really into that fighting over whatever. Just AEW just happens to be my number one, right? Um,
Right.
when it comes down to say like I said, the Cowboys, they have fans for so long, right? It doesn't
Yeah, right.
matter that they didn't win since the '90s. They're selling out every time at the stadium. They're bringing in big
The biggest
ratings,
fan
right?
base in
And
the
their
world, I
fans will
think. Yeah.
argue to the death for them. And I ain't knocking that, cause I get it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I'm a Cowboys fan,
So and
guilty as
I'm a Rams
charged, bro.
fan. So you
Yeah.
you understand how it is,
Hey,
like so
okay.
like you're gonna
Yeah.
argue for them, right? And it's only right. That's where your loyalty is. It's because you've been there for so long, right? So
Right.
for another person to compete with that, it's like and you're a new football franchise, that shit's gonna take 20 years, bro. Like
To build
think.
up. Yeah,
Think of
for
the
sure.
difference between like a team like the Texans, who came in as an expansion franchise, right?
Mhm.
Versus the Cowboys, right? In
Cowboys, yeah.
popularity.
It
Like
it takes
like
things
you know
take
what I'm saying?
time,
Like
man.
think about it, right?
Yeah.
So
But AEW is just they're there.
what
We're
yeah, no, they
competing with
compete. They're the only
the others.
competition.
Yeah.
But the one thing that people
Yeah.
gotta understand is there's gonna be hiccups along the way, and it's gonna take a while for them to dominate wrestling if it ever gets there, or to even get on it. Even
They're getting pretty
yeah,
close.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I would
Yeah.
say the actual wrestling, they're crushing it, but
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
convince lifelong fans of something to just jump ship, which is
Right, and that's where, like, the tribalism comes in and stuff. I mean, I used to watch WWE growing
now I
up as a
watch
kid,
WWE still to this day.
'cause I was born in '95, started watching '97, '98, and, but they were really I watched WCW too up
WCW is
until,
more my
of
shit
course,
when
I
I
got
was younger. Absolutely.
yes, bro, Sting is the GOAT.
Rey Mysterio is my goat.
Rey
Mhm.
Mysterio too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
NWO and stuff, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so next is the Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa versus Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne tag team match.
Hold up.
What were your thoughts
One
about
thing
that
I want to
match?
say before we go forward, because
Okay.
I think we brushed by it too quick. Tony and Mariah are magic. Every time
Oh,
they
yeah.
get together for a promo, I wanna make sure I just throw that in there before we go forward. It's kinda
Oh, no.
like that's like
Oh,
without being said,
that's
I feel
coming
like
up.
everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, it's coming up.
absolutely. Now you brought up Staten Thunder versus Bane and
Thunder.
Ford, right?
Yep,
I'm hoping it's building up to a Stat versus Bane match. I mean,
of course. I mean, that's
Like
a guarantee
no, but I
probably,
was hoping it was
soon.
gonna
Yeah,
like jump off like instantly. Like let's add this to the pay-per-view, right?
yeah. That'll probably be the next
I think
pay-per-view for
so.
sure, which I think is
Yep.
Dynasty, so,
But as far as the
yeah.
match, push these women. Like push all of them.
Yeah.
Like that hell of a match, first of all. Thunder Rosa, we know what she could do in the ring. Penelope Ford, s- I,
She's great, she's come a
super
long
bad,
ways.
right?
Yeah,
But super
yeah,
underrated, right? So
of
that's what
course.
I say about her, right? Um, Megan Bain, I think everybody was ready for her to come and like they was waiting. Everybody kind of knew what she could be. And Statland is
Yeah,
amazing. We ain't I don't really gotta everybody knows what she could do, right? But
right,
I
of
would just
course.
say get these women more TV time, find it, sneak it out
For sure,
somewhere.
yeah.
Um, continue pushing them. You know what I'm saying? Push the envelope. If you think you only could do two women's matches on the pay-per-view, next time do three. You see you see
No,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Because
Yeah, I think there should always be at least 3 or 4,
and I would say I
women's
would say
matches,
on
yeah.
a say they do 10 matches, right? 3 or
Mhm,
4 is like a good number. And usually it
yeah.
still be a couple of undercard matches on 0 hour. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would say that's probably a good number. They got too much talent right now. Um,
right. That's what I think they need a 3rd show,
I
bro.
I mean,
Like, getting rid of Rampage kinda ruined
yeah, I
that
think
for a
so.
little
Either
bit,
either
you know?
that there's I think that they need to figure out really a formula between Ring of Honor and those
You're
other
right.
shows.
They need to get they need to get Ring of Honor a little bit more grounded.
Like a get first of all, getting a
Um,
roster. It definitely needs a roster. Mm,
yeah. It's kinda got a roster
kinda.
right now, but they're still kinda mixing it
Yeah,
a
that's
little
that's
bit,
where I think
but
the
like you said.
confusion comes in.
Right. Yeah, of course. They need like, a concrete
I
roster,
think
like you were
that they
saying.
do. You're
But
right though. For their like mid card and lower card, they do seem like they got a roster, right? But it's like the Jericho and like the top of the card that is like they're kind of on AEW and Ring of Honor, which I don't hate
yeah,
Chris Jericho like other
like,
people. That's like kind of weird. I mean, but
nah,
yeah,
I don't think I don't hate him either.
but
I don't
yeah,
understand
I
where
don't
that
know.
hate
Like I
comes
feel like
from,
like
honestly.
2 years ago, everybody was calling him the goat. Now all of a sudden, it's like retire. I don't
Yeah,
like when fans feel like they could tell someone when to retire. Neither. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. It's not
It's like it's not your place. You
it's
don't know. Like you know what I'm saying?
right.
It's that it just you're overstepping boundaries. Like
A little
they're
bit,
a
just like we were talking
boo,
about earlier.
but
Yep.
when you start getting personal, like it's
Yeah, that's just taking it
for
too
real.
far.
I
Uh,
believe so. Not something that I like to do. I don't like. I never tell Chris Jericho to retire. He retire whenever he
Chris
wants
Jericho
to.
has one of the
Yeah,
greatest
and he earned
careers
the right.
out of any
Yeah,
professional
earned
wrestler.
the right to
He's one
retire
of the
when he
best.
wants.
Yeah. He's earned the right to retire when he wants to.
And what he's
Yeah.
done with Big Bill, which I know he was a little bit already established, but what he's done with Big
Mhm.
Bill and Brian Keith, look it. Like people
Yeah.
act like
Brian
yo,
Keith's hilarious, man.
The Brian Keith level up has been crazy. And look at how the
Oh, yeah.
fans have reacted to Big Bill. Granted, I know he's had his little things before, but you can't say that Chris Jericho hasn't put them in a better spot.
He does that with every group
Yeah,
he's
agree.
created. He takes he takes these guys that don't really have much of a name for them yet, and he just boosts them on
I
up, man.
100% agree.
Like, every single group he's had, Inner Circle, JAS, and now
Yeah,
Learning Tree, it's
yeah.
all the same. Like, he's doing a really
Like
good job with that. I think he's a
for
good
sure.
mentor.
And I think he's trying to get Ring of Honor off the ground, but I just think that
Yeah.
they just need that less crossover, less
TV deal.
crossover, right? Like
Yeah, less
that's
crossover.
like
But ROH, yeah, needs a TV deal.
for sure. I mean, there
Yeah.
was rumors they turned a few of them down. So
Oh, that AEW
yeah, I mean,
turned it down?
there was the
Huh?
rumor that came back a long time ago that um, oh, what network was it? one of these networks that signed one of these wrestling companies. I want to say, don't quote me on this, right? It might have been CW. Like one of these networks reached out to Tony Khan for
Oh,
Ring of Honor before, and he said he wasn't interested. And they went and they signed another
mm,
wrestling company. I think it might have been the NXT deal, right? Not saying that they was
oh,
gonna offer
yeah,
Tony that type of money. It probably would have been a lot less
right.
just for due to the fact,
Maybe it
yeah, due
probably
to the
would have
fact
been.
it's Ring
Yeah.
of Honor versus NXT. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But
right.
there was rumors that he's been, there's been a few on the table, but it might also be too much on his plate to write 3 shows right now. Could be why they got rid of him,
Yeah.
you know?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, he does have a writing team. Um. So I mean, he could give kind of power of one of his shows away. I'm
What
sure
do
he
you
could. But I think he just loves doing it
he
so
does,
much that he
he
wants
does.
control
What
over
do you think
everything.
about,
Yeah.
what do you think about someone like Scott D'Amore getting a chance to
I'd say give
write
I'd say
Ring of
give him a
Honor?
chance. Well, Ring of Honor would
I
be
think so
awesome.
too. I think so too.
Yeah.
I think he needs to
Scott
just
D'Amore was
pick the
awesome.
right person. Not saying Scott D'Amore, but somebody along that line, and let them run Ring of
Mhm.
Honor. Watch it for like 6 months, see how it goes. You know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would that would be my take on that.
For sure.
What
For
do
sure.
what do you think about how they're building up the Mercedes and Momo match? You think they should be doing a little bit more?
Yeah. They should definitely. Momo should have been there like
Yeah,
tonight. Like where was
could
she?
be obviously could be something that's out of their hands, but yeah,
Um.
I think so too. I was expecting her to pop up somewhere during that interview somewhere.
No, right. Just like the previous week, she
Yeah,
did.
I was
Yeah.
kind of expecting that or something, but
Something.
like,
Yeah. But so I mean, this really is the only match that's pretty predictable at this point. It's really the only one that is
I
predictable.
I agree,
I think.
but
I mean, Mercedes
for
is
sure.
winning, bro.
I mean, right
Yeah.
now, Mercedes is the golden girl. She's not gonna lose unless it's a some big top notch feud. I don't see. I mean, there's obviously belts out of the 10 belts she got 4, but you get my point. There's probably matches
Right.
if she was in Mexico or Japan where you could kind of like, she's gonna drop one. She's not dropping one right now. Not the TV.
No. I just hope they don't give her a sixth one. I love Mercedes. I mean, she's cool and all. Just all them belts. It's
You know,
ridiculous. Kenny
I
made it
live in
look cool.
Massachusetts, so I'll let her get a Boston thing off. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh yeah.
I'm,
Oh yeah. You Celtics fan?
I'm a Lakers and a Rams fan. I'm a
No.
LA guy. I just have
Uh, I'm a
I just
Mavericks
happen to
fan.
live.
Y'all just got the
I
best trade
appreciate
ever.
Luca, my brother.
Like, yeah, and we got. I mean, AD's good, but he's
He's
injured
always injured.
like
That's the
one
problem.
game. Yeah, that was like the worst trade ever.
I thought that if AD could stay
Yeah,
healthy,
that would have been a
yeah,
good trade.
maybe this
Yeah,
year,
if he would have
like
stayed
this year,
healthy.
I thought maybe I would have, because they was acting like they didn't know when Luca would come back. But right when the trade happened, Luca was good to go. It ended up just being a bad trade, man. It's like I
Yeah.
can't defend it, but I'll take
Oh,
Luca. I feel bad for y'all.
yeah. I don't know, man.
Reset.
It's
It's a
hard
reset.
times, bro. All right. So Max
Oh
Caster Open
boy.
Challenge.
Oh,
What'd you think about JY answering the call?
it's good to keep Jay White on TV. That's one thing.
True.
Um,
I was thinking it was gonna be
I was
Speedball Mike
thinking something like
Bailey.
that too,
Finally.
but the way that I feel like
Yeah.
they presented it, maybe Speedball is going to be a collision guy,
Yeah, because they did the
and it
video
says
package
coming
on
to
Collision.
collision, right? I mean, I'm not telling them to do
Yeah,
a full roster split, but like a little bit of a roster split would be good.
have certain people on
Yeah,
certain shows, which
um,
they're doing that with the Beast Mortos and Hologram. Like they're always Collision
exactly.
guys, and there's a few others like
Yeah,
STP
I think they're
and
slowly
the
doing it.
and
They're
Daniel
just not
Garcia.
abruptly doing it and letting you know they're doing it. But if you
Yeah,
notice, I think you're right. I think they
yeah,
are slow.
they're
Yeah,
slowly doing
slowly,
that.
right?
Yeah,
Um, I want to say I got no problem with Jay White squash. First of all, Jay White's one of my favorite wrestlers out there right now. He's
Yeah,
championship material. Whenever you want to give it to him, he's waiting in, and he'll run with that ball whenever you hand it off to him, right?
yeah, he won that under a
And
minute, I think.
and I do love Max Caster as a heel. He's annoying, but that's the point, right? The
It's
only
good.
thing I
Yeah.
don't understand is where the squashing is gonna go. Like, because I've never seen in a
Yeah.
company, and you let me know if I'm wrong, right? Someone to just continuously get squashed and then make like a super rebound and
Oh,
like be ill after or something.
oh, no. Okay, in
Like,
that case,
I
no.
know one of them,
But we have seen people get
yeah,
squashed
for
over and
sure.
over
But
again,
for
but never really
like, look
bounced
at that.
back.
Without throwing
Yeah.
jabs or anything at any other companies, right? The last
Right.
person I
Yep.
seen just go on a job and tear got released right after, right? In another company. After he
Yeah.
got repackaged
Yeah.
and all that, they had him job out a bunch of times and then he got fired, right? Um,
Correct. Yep.
Before that, like I remember there was another guy that went on like a 2-year jobbing spree and broke the record for the most losses in a row. Now, granted, he's in another company doing pretty good for himself right now, but he's not in that
Yeah.
company where you just
He's
got squashed for 2 years. So
he's killing it
there
on
you go.
independent.
So
Yeah.
the point is, it's like, where do you go from like open challenge squash match? Like, is he being punished? Because I know he's kind of loopy online. There's been a few times where it's like,
Yeah.
Max, what you doing?
He called me a he
I
called me a
seen it.
pussy
I
once.
seen
Do
it.
you see that?
I seen it. But that's
Like,
what I mean. Like, I know he's kind of like out there, so I know there might have been a few things. Maybe he got in trouble, but it's like, I hope he's just not like on a downward spiral of squash matches until he's just not there no more. Like, you know,
yeah. I think it might be different with him. We'll see. Cause like you said, he's makes a pretty
he
good
does.
heel so far.
Put him like,
Yeah. And
I was hoping maybe he somehow fell into something maybe with the Hurt Syndicate, but it just don't look that way no more.
oh no. He's not
No,
fit for the Hurt
not at
Syndicate,
all.
bro.
But in the beginning,
Uh,
when they gave him the business
uh,
card, he was hiding it in his jacket and stuff. I thought maybe we had
yeah.
something like, a cocky heel. I know he can wrestle.
Repackage
Yeah,
him
like
and yeah.
repackage him, have him come up with them because I guess him and Shelton would be a good tag team if you took Lashley out of a tag team equation. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you wanted to
Mhm.
push them as singles wrestlers. But I just don't want to see him get squashed for a whole year and then he's just gone. Like, I'm not really interested in that. If it would pay
Nah. Hopefully something comes
hopefully.
up out of it, you know. I know it's probably building to the return of Anthony Bowens though as a repackaged
Yeah,
star. That's probably what it's
I think
leading to, which it's gonna help Anthony Bowens out, but
yeah, and
yeah,
that could
I don't
send
know.
him back down into that land where it's like, what is he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And I think Max Cast is actually a dope wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do things with him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just gotta
Anthony Bowens is
oh,
a
for
real good
sure.
wrestler too,
I
man.
feel like that's
Yeah.
without being said. Like, we know he's good. Like, Max Cast is like he's potential. Bowens is a little bit more ready.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
what I would
He's
say.
yeah, you're right. Yep. All right. Now we can talk about the Mariah May and Tony Storm sit down with Renee. And it starts out with Mariah spitting in Tony's face. And
I love these two. I
God,
love these two. The way
yeah,
they did that was just it was
man, this
amazing.
yeah, it has me thinking Mariah might win
And then
this one,
another
and
one.
then they get their third one. Yep, they get
Hey,
another one. So
it's
we'll
it's
see.
crazy because I feel like these two women are doing a phenomenal job. First of all, that's first thing.
Oh yeah, Tony Storm is like great at
Yo,
acting,
but now if
man.
you notice though,
She's
Mariah
awesome
May, I feel like is matching her energy now. Like, you seen her today, she's like she
for
reminded
real.
me that
She's starting to go
yeah, like
crazy.
now she's Tony
Yep.
Storm. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Yeah,
to the point where they're like it's so much synergy. They're both each other. I mean, it's like
yeah.
it's a weird vibe, you know.
Their energies
Yeah.
match for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad watching them wrestle at every pay-per-view. Just let them wrestle each
No.
other every
Oh yeah.
pay-per-view. I'll be okay. Mhm.
For sure. For sure.
Think they're
I
gold.
agree.
I think they're both money. And anybody that thought Mariah May wasn't a star and was mad over a title reign or anything like that, it's like, first of all, you're crazy because the woman is amazing at everything she's doing in and out that ring, from mic work,
Yep.
acting work, wrestling work. Um, her reign could have been booked a little bit better. I will say that, but she did everything she could to make it great. And now we're back on
Right.
page where it's a great feud for the title,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So
And it re-sparked
yeah,
that
so it's gonna
interest
come
too.
down to what's done from here. They do their part. Everybody else gotta do their part. Mhm.
That's true. That's right.
Who you got? Who you got? If you got a bet, not
Alright.
leaning towards. If you was a betting man right now, all in, just like the hoodie, right? Who you
Okay.
betting on?
Yeah.
Me
Tony
too.
Storm. Yeah.
Think Tony.
I just have a there's just that slight feeling that Mariah might win, but I don't know. This is the third match coming up Sunday, so they might end
Well,
it.
my
Who
guess would
knows?
be is this, right?
But
This feud made Mariah May. She's an
yeah, it
absolute
definitely did.
superstar right
It
now,
definitely
right?
did.
But
Yeah.
Tony needs to leave this feud with the belt. That
Yeah.
yeah,
But Tony
Tony
does.
needs,
Yeah.
and it's not because she's
So
not a star, because she is, right? But if
right.
it's like Mariah May gets one up on her, two up on her, three up on her, it just gets to the point where then same thing. Like, what are you gonna do with Tony Storm? Like, I feel like you can move Mariah May down and still do a bunch of stuff
Or
with her, right? And move, a
yeah.
few people up to wrestle Tony Storm. But if you move Tony Storm down right now, it
Mm-mm.
just probably wouldn't be the move
I think eventually we need to see Mercedes versus Tony
for the
Storm.
belt, right? For the heavyweight,
Mhm.
for the women's heavyweight.
For the world title,
Now,
yeah.
I would love to.
Uh, I don't know who she's gonna drop it to, maybe Athena, but that seems like the
I
number
would
1
like
right now.
seeing like a triple threat match somehow after this pay per view,
Yep.
obviously, right? With maybe
Mhm,
Athena, Mariah May, and Mercedes, where she don't even got to get
mhm.
pinned to lose the belt. You could protect her
Right. That's probably how
in the
that's
belt,
gonna
and
go
then
down.
then
Yeah.
all of a sudden she pops up on Tony Storm like, I want that belt. I didn't even lose my belt, but I want yours. Like that's probably
Correct.
the best
Yeah,
route to go with that.
I think so.
Agree,
Yeah,
agree.
cool. Alright,
Mhm.
so the
Yeah,
main event, yeah, Ricochet and Okada versus Brody King and Swerve.
yeah.
Yep. That was, what did you think about that match?
Action. I mean, kind of knew,
Action,
kind of
yeah,
knew what
nonstop.
knew what it was gonna be. It was what it was. You know what Brody brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? You put like this: when you put four of the best wrestlers in the world in the ring, you got an idea how it's gonna go. Great match, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it was a
yeah,
pretty good
very
match.
good match. Um, I like the fact that it had the build up of Swerve hitting Rico in the head earlier with the
Yeah,
scissors. Um,
gave us a good sneak peek of
yeah, I,
Revolution,
I liked
so,
what they did there.
yeah,
Sad that Buddy's injured. Heal up quickly. Get back soon.
I know.
Kind of that sucks. Um, but
Yep,
Swerve and Rico, without said, Brody and Okada feuding each other as well. This is one thing I used to say a couple of years ago. If there's three feuds going on and you're gonna tag people up, this is what you do because Okada's, going against Brody and Ricochet's going against Swerve. I think there was a few times where AEW was losing a little bit of direction and it would be like, kind of a conglomerate to a point when you could keep it storyline based like this, right? And keep, say,
mhm,
common fans or people that ain't always entertained kind of
your
there you go.
casuals, yeah,
More on pace of what's going on. Um, I think it did everything it needed to do. It built up both feuds. They've been building up the Okada and Brody story for a couple of weeks now. Ricochet and Swerve on a tear. You know what I'm saying? Um, it did everything it needed to do, and it was a great match. It was a say a perfect way to end the show, especially with Revolution coming up on Sunday.
Yep. And I can't wait till it's Sunday. They always AEW always
Best pay-per-views in the
delivers
world.
every
Best
pay-per-view.
pay-per-views in the world, no question.
Yeah, it's worth
And
that $50, bro.
and I'll tell you
Yeah.
like this: when people complain about 10 matches, I ain't complaining about getting more bang for my buck. It's like here's the thing: if
No,
I
for
pay
real.
for a Floyd Mayweather boxing match, and I have 10 fights
Yeah.
before it that I don't know who they are, yeah, I'm gonna complain because I don't know who
There's
they are, right? But when I pay
right.
for, say, Kenny versus Takeshita, and you give me 15, I'll give me 20 more matches. Are they all fire people who I know who
Heck
they
yeah.
are? Shit, give me the day.
It beats that 5-match crap
5 matches, I
all
can't
all
I don't
day.
even know where that came from. Like, that's like just like what they're doing now.
People just complain
But
to
it that
complain.
that like that
It's just the
That
haters, bro.
five-man match shit is so terrible. Like that, you know what? You know what's the thing?
Yeah.
I don't even have a problem personally with 5 matches in a pay-per-view. That's not my problem.
But
My
it
problem is this. If you want to give me 5 matches, cool. It's gonna be a short pay-per-view. I'll be on with my day soon, right? Don't match the time of the matches, right? With advertisement and bullshit because now we have 2 hours of wrestling, 2.5 hours of advertisement. I gotta waste 5 hours to watch 5 matches. It's silly, right? Like I
yeah.
I'll
You
take the
wasted
five
5 hours
matches
to
in an
watch
hour
5
and a half.
matches,
Give me
for real.
that, and I'll go on about my business. I don't need to be here for 4 hours
Right.
for that. You know, it
No.
becomes too much of a spectacle. And then people get mad because you say, I want to watch the wrestling. Oh, you don't, why do you, it's called wrestling. Like, what do you
Yeah.
think I'm here to watch?
Oh, too much
Like,
wrestling on my
excuse me,
wrestling
I'm going to
show.
start
Come
going to
on now.
NBA games to watch the commercials.
Jesus.
Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't like everybody to each his own. But my thing is this,
Those
that's not for me. Not saying I don't watch it,
mm,
right? Because I do. But I
yeah,
can't glorify that. Like that's my main thing to watch when I'm watching other things I think is personally for my liking better. I'm saying,
yeah. You wanna see wrestling
yeah,
on the
you know what
wrestling
I'm saying?
show,
Of
bro.
course I
I
want
get that. That's why I
I
love
want
AEW.
promos and all that
Yeah.
too, right? But if the show's 3 hours long and it's a wrestling show, it should probably at least have
Mm.
2 hours of wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Of
Not
course.
like 40 minutes out of
Uh,
3 hours. Like that's like probably doesn't even qualify as wrestling, honestly.
and, the 10 matches on AEW pay-per-views, all the matches are phenomenal.
They're
Like,
all
they're great.
Mayweather matches.
So, it don't even bother me or phase me that the pay-per-view's
I
that
don't
long. I mean, I could just
Look,
sit
if
there and
these are
watch it
all
like
matches that
like that.
interest me, I don't care how long it is, right? I've been like,
Right.
here's the thing what people don't understand. I used to go to rap battle events, right? Right? Like Smack DVD and
Yeah.
stuff, New
Cool.
York. And you
Nice.
stand there at those events for 9 hours, 10 hours. You don't get no chairs. You just stand at them. You be in New York at the event, Summer Madness,
Mhm.
10 hours standing, right? I don't care about watching 4 or 5 hours of wrestling at my house when it's something I like. It's not
Yeah.
something that bothers
It
me.
ain't
You know
gonna
what I'm
phase
saying?
me,
Like,
man.
I'll be
Yeah.
mad if I had to watch 5 hours of stuff where it's like I gotta
And
skim
get 3
through it to
matches.
find the
Yeah.
matches. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Right.
just the truth of
For real.
the situation. Like, I love AEW. I love what they're doing. I know not everybody's gonna agree what they're doing or don't understand it because there's a lot of entertainment fans. But what people gotta understand is me mainly, I'm here for the wrestling. There's a reason why they
Yeah.
say it's where the best wrestle because they're focused on the wrestling, right?
It is true.
So
It's true.
and there's a
Yeah.
reason why people like Danielson and Will Ospreay and dudes that are revered as the best wrestlers in the world lean towards AEW, right? It's a reason because they want to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to watch them wrestle. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's basically what it comes down to. Now, do you have anything signing out? Anything you want to speak to people? We got 100, basically 150 people in there that's been consistently watching
Oh,
the
really?
whole episode. I mean,
Sweet. I was gonna ask about a chat. Is there a live chat or
I ain't even open up. Let me go to my cause it's on my YouTube too. But you know, I just been on the
this?
mainstream.
Oh yeah, same.
Hold on 1 second.
Hmm. Oh, here
Found
we
it.
go. Yeah. So just minimize your screen, and it brings up the chat on the right side.
1 second.
You can read them all. I'm gonna go ahead and read off Michael's chat. It says, "Bro, what do you think about the end of Swerve Strickland and Ricochet match? I think Swerve's shoulder was up. Oh no, for sure it was up. It was a bad
For
finish.
sure. I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not letting me minimize and pull it up. I'm still trying to find it.
What's up, Dave Door? Uh, and then yeah, Dave Door said there is collision. They will tape it
I
tonight.
found it. Yep,
Okay.
I found it right here, right on the right. Sorry, fellas, we didn't even notice the chat. We over here getting our first night
Yeah.
off. We would definitely be
Yep.
more assertive on answering all these questions. You want to read off the rest of the questions before we close it? I don't mind going through them.
Yeah. Would you mind picking up on I think
Yeah, where it says DG,
Cecili's question?
starts off DG versus Lee.
Uh,
All
yeah.
right, so Cecily said DG versus Lee Moriarty for the TNT Championship. Holly Cameron in action, hologram versus Dralistico, D versus Momo. That's going to be on Collision. Momo's on. Oh, nice. Momo's on
Okay.
Collision.
So we were just
I
talking
still
about
would have
that.
wished she would have
Yeah.
popped up tonight, but I do love the
Right.
fact that she's on Collision. Cicely also said the Hurt Syndicate losing the belts after one title defense doesn't look good. I think an old-fashioned feud between the two teams would suit all parties well. I agree. Um, the only
Agree.
reason why I personally think that they should find a way to make it happen, you got to capitalize on momentum. The people already love the Hurt Syndicate. It's not like right now what the Outrunners have is kind of special. Um, I want to say in the beginning, you remember what AEW in the beginning had with Bowens and Caster, and everybody thought they
The
should
tag
have put
team.
the
Yeah.
titles on them, and they didn't.
But it would have been too
Yeah,
soon.
but
Oh, but they didn't, and that's what kind of
there
stopped
you
their
go. And
momentum
by the
too.
time they
Yeah.
did, their run didn't really hit the same because people wanted
It
it
was
and you
too late.
didn't give it to them, right? Sometimes I
Right.
think you just got to give the fans what they want. They want give it to the
Exactly.
Outrunners.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, like, I don't think that that would hurt Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin at all, you know? And there's also
Right.
probably a funny way you could do it where it doesn't even hurt them at all. That's just
No.
my
Yeah.
personal opinion. Now,
But Cecilia is not wrong though. She has a good, or they have a good point.
Stampede says Scott Demore runs his own promotion in Canada, Major League Pro. I know that he won't be taking over booking of RH. I know he got his own promotion, but if you look at a lot of his shows, they consist of borrowed AEW guys. Not throwing a jab at
Yeah.
him,
Could
not at
happen.
all. I think that if Tony threw him the right amount or the right offer, I should say, I don't think he couldn't do both. You know, I don't think there's a reason because
Right.
Maple Leaf Pro is more uh like they're not dropping weekly. They're not dropping weekly television. You know, it's
Hmm.
here and there. I
Tony's doing it by himself.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, not yeah. So I think Scott Demore probably could handle both. Stampede is my guy though.
Yeah.
So not a jab at
Yeah.
you. You
Shout out to him.
salute to Stampede.
Shout out
And then
Stampede.
Stampede also said, Jay White. He said, "I'll be there to see the new AEW World Champion." Pause. Cope. All right. So
I
Yeah,
see what you
I
did
see
there.
what you did there. That was pretty slick. And then he said, "Never trust Jay White ever." Listen, that's the switchblade.
That's
Don't never,
facts.
don't.
That's facts.
What,
That's why he
what?
switches up.
I,
Switchblade.
I hope, really hope, somebody can actually clarify this one thing for me, and not you, because I know you're not going to be able to. But I hope somebody sees this and can clear this up for me somehow. Right? Are the guns still with Jay White? What the hell happened there?
I have no idea. They what was it, Colton that
But
got
they came
injured?
back. They came
And
back, right?
they
They
came
fought
back,
the
and they just had that
Hurt
one match,
Syndicate,
right?
but they've done a couple of
Yeah.
promos too. No mention of Jay White.
Okay.
They're still saying guns up. Jay White still kind of, I mean, obviously he could do something this week where he turns on Cope and they come out. Or maybe they're waiting for Juice Robinson. I know he's injured,
Oh,
but
yeah. Yeah, he's
but
injured too.
no explanation. They're a dope
No.
group. Like there's no reason to wrap that up without telling me anything. Just I hope.
Yeah, maybe it's just sidelined for
I know, but
now or
you would
something.
at least think they're still
Uh,
mentioning, like, I don't. Yeah, like
something,
give.
yeah. And I get what you're saying, for sure.
I've really been thinking about that for a little bit. They need to figure that out for sure.
Just give us those 3 on the screen.
Yeah,
Say, "Hey, it's been" have the guns go up and be like, "Hey, it's been a while since we connected,
yeah,
what's
like
up?"
you know what I'm
Something.
saying. Like
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
I just think once in a while, and obviously there's always a lot of politics. I think sometimes they just dead end things, and I don't think you should.
Without no explanation.
Not
Sometimes
a lot, and
they
I
have
know
done
there's
that
been a
before.
few times where they
Yeah,
kinda was put in a situation where you kinda had to. I mean, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? But when you don't have to,
facts.
just give me a little bit, little nugget. Give me a
Just give
nugget.
it yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Bump into each other.
yeah,
Yeah,
give
just
it
have
something.
them see
Yeah,
each other. Maybe they say, "Yeah, we're trying to do our own thing. We'll catch up with you later," saying like anything. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Now, before we head off though, I want you to make sure you. I mean, I know some of these people probably watching on YouTube, some are probably watching on Twitter, whatever. But shout out, yeah, I see
Mhm,
Took Timber right there. Any other websites you need to tell
yep.
people about? Anything you wanna,
Uh,
get off your chest?
Not at the moment, just at Took Timbo on YouTube and, of course,
Yeah,
X, but that's it.
yeah.
That's all I got right
At
now.
Mob Miz
But
508, same thing. Twitter,
yep,
YouTube. I ain't pushing any other things. Y'all still, we do got to get Kick and Twitch going because I think we could link all four of them.
yep. We definitely
You know
should
what I
do
mean?
that.
Um, and once we log this out, I'm gonna make sure I send you over this full stream. You know what I mean? So
Cool. Thank you. Yeah,
text me
that'd be
your
awesome.
email. Hold on one second. We just got
Okay,
another question. Um, he said, Cecily said the guns promo was voiced over by Jay White. I heard that. The thing that I'm saying is there's been like no interaction since they came back. But I
right.
do know that their promo was voiced over by Jay White, which led me to believe it's still active and maybe Juice, is gonna come back and maybe bring the band back together because he kind of feel like that cowboy to bring the band back together, right?
It completes
Yeah,
it, man. Yeah,
but
just completes
I
it.
still would just
Yeah.
like something, anything, because I know they got. It just seems like Jay White's on an island, kind of piggybacking Cope, which I know he's gonna turn on him. Don't get me wrong, I know that's coming, right? But
Mhm.
I like an acknowledgement, like maybe like you catch them sneakily talking or something, and he's telling them just act like just stay away from me for a little bit, like something. You know what I'm saying? The voiceover could be, that's not necessarily saying that they're gonna be back together. Like if they cut them right now from being together, it wouldn't surprise me, even though he did that ad lib their promo. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah. Alright, so how many people we got?
145 right now.
145?
145.
Well, I appreciate everybody watching and tuning in tonight, man. This is a good turnout for us for our
Was
first
for
video.
sure.
It's
Um,
awesome.
I want to
And
say the same thing. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. We had a couple of little probably errors today as far as
yeah,
what's going on, but we'll have better internet going next week, wire routers,
yeah,
and we'll have our cameras set up soon. Today we're shooting on the fly with our computer cameras because we honestly, I mean, we don't want to be late. We said that we was coming for y'all,
no.
so we're here.
So
Yeah.
we're here.
Yep,
We
we're
made it
here,
though.
and
Yeah,
that's all that matters for now. If any of you's got any
correct.
more questions, I believe we answered all the ones in the actual chat. Feel free to send over
Yeah,
DMs. If you find any content you want us to talk about on next week's show or in between, anything like that, feel free to send it in either of our DMs. Took's at is right up there on the screen for you. I have mine's up next week. But once again, thank you all. I mean, I'm ready to sign out.
thank
How
you,
you
everybody.
feeling, bro?
Feeling great, man.
It's been a
Um,
pleasure.
Everybody have a good night. Thanks for watching with us. It means a lot to us. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate y'all very
And
much.
thank you again, co-host. And I'll see you again Saturday.
Thank you.
We'll be talking later, but we'll be live for them again
Yeah,
on Saturday. Saturday night.
Saturday, right after Collision.
No
Yes, sir.
spoilers. Don't
Yes,
send
sir.
us no spoilers because
No,
we're gonna
no
drop
spoilers,
Saturdays
please.
on Collision right after Collision like it's live. So we're gonna avoid spoilers all week.
All right. Good night.
Brody.